Damien Woody was a 2-time Super Bowl champion, but as an offensive lineman, it's hard to make it in the sports TV business. He's done it on ESPN for 15 years. We wanted to find out how he's done it and why. That is why Damien Woody is the main event. Damien, my pleasure to have you on.
Andrew, I appreciate you having me on, man.
You had Bill Belichick as one of your coaches. You had Rex Ryan as a head coach. Give us an idea from a player's perspective. What did they tell you? And I think it might have been different in terms of how they wanted you to interact or what their expectation was as a player for you with the media.
It couldn't have been any different between those two guys. You know, Bill Belichick was kind of the, one voice type of guy in the building where, he would give the message and then it would disseminate to all the players within the locker room. And his whole thing was, hey, I want you guys to be yourselves, but this is the message that we want to send out to the media. He didn't want guys to really deviate too far from his messages because it was all about the one message in the building. And so guys had personality, but the one thing that you knew as a player in that locker room that you pretty much had to stay on script, because if you weren't going to stay on script, then all of a sudden you're called into his office and he's giving you this nasty growl about, what did I say in the team meeting room? And he wouldn't say it, kind of that friendly, but it was basically, hey man, stay on message, but feel free to have the personality that you want to have. Now, Rex Ryan was different. Rex was totally different. Rex was just one of those type of guys that, you drink a beer with and shoot the stuff one-on-one. And he didn't care. Rex's whole thing was, hey, if you're going to give yourself praise, give 2 coaches and a player, because we're all in this thing together. Let's have fun. Let's show our personality. As you've seen from Rex on television, Rex is not shy about showing his personality, and he wanted the same thing for his players because at the end of the day, he wanted everybody to get the shine.
Does that impact winning? How you deal with the media? Does it have any impact or not really? I have my opinion, but I want to get yours.
Yeah, I do. I think it does. I mean, if we're talking about not just winning on the field, but winning in life and winning in how people perceive you, absolutely. I always felt like the media was the kind of the conduit between me as a player and the fans. The media played a big part in kind of telling the story about a player. And so for me, listen, as an offensive lineman, we don't have many opportunities to really showcase ourselves, showcase our personalities to the fans. So every opportunity that we got, I felt like it was an opportunity for me to kind of let fans in on the personal side of myself, let fans know about who I am as a person, my family, all those type of things. So at the end of the day, when the story is written, I want people to be like, damn, that dude he's not just a big lineman, but this dude has a lot of layers to him that I'm really interested in.
What you said is right. Like, I think you want to be able to tell your story to the fans so they understand. The more people understand about something, the easier it is to say, okay, yeah, that makes some sense. And you get the benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, I guess my big point, and we can maybe get into this in a little bit, but I just think the idea that Belichick, kind of shutting down the media had any impact. I'd say people like you, Tom Brady, the defense, that had more of an impact than how you dealt with the media. And I think it kind of spawned a lot of these coaches to think, oh, this is how you have to, this is part of the success. I personally don't think so. I'm going to ask you that in a minute, but if you want to listen to the rest of the podcast, andrewmarchand.com. I'm going to ask you about The Biggest Loser, your transition from going from off the, from the field to becoming a broadcaster. Damien had 7 children. That sounds a lot. And I love the grand piano. I mean, that is something that you always see on ESPN in the background. I need a little bit about that story. All right. Again, to subscribe,